Hello, welcome to the Unscripted Pause. Um, I'm your host, Diane. Hey. Um, I wanted to come on today and talk about how it's okay to say if you don't know something. And this is coming up for me because I had a conversation with someone and we were talking about Good Friday. Today is Good Friday. It's April 18th, 2025. It's Good Friday. And I was having a conversation with someone and talking about Good Friday. I think I just repeated myself. And I was asking them, because I know they go to church. And so I asked this person if they had a Good Friday service at their church, and they said no. Then, of course, they asked me if I had one at mine. I go, yeah. And I told them that at my church, the Good Friday service is it's a it's like I can't say lovely, but it's a lovely service. It's a very, as you can imagine, like a very somber kind of atmosphere, and there's readings from the scripture, of course. And then in between each reading of scripture, there's like a song. And then at the very end, our pastor leads us out. Oh, and candles are lit. And then at the end of each reading, a candle is extinguished. And by the time you get to the very end of the service, the room is, rather dark. The lights are really low. And then we go out, and there is a cross that's outside the front doors of our church. And everybody takes a nail and hammers it into the cross, to symbolize that Jesus died for my sins, right? I might as well. I have hammered a nail into the cross. It's pretty powerful, actually. So anyway, I was sharing this with this person I was speaking with, and they asked me, what did Good Friday mean? Like, what is Good Friday? And and again, this is the whole like if you don't know something, we always act like you can't ask stuff. You need to be embarrassed, or like you should know that already. And and just because this person goes to church, I'm like, good for in my head. I was like, good for you for asking and saying like, I don't know, but I don't know. I've never known. And so I proceeded to like explain to this person about Good Friday, um, and how it's the day that Jesus was crucified. And and this person was like so appreciative. They were like, "Oh, I never knew." Like they were like, "I never knew what it meant or what it signified." And so I was thinking about that today, and actually I was just talking to Tommy about it. And I was like, it's so funny how we can sometimes get in our own way about asking for help or asking for guidance or saying we don't know something because we think we're supposed to know. And certainly there's nothing wrong with like looking it up. Certainly she could have Googled what is Good Friday and what does it mean. She could have Googled that. Yeah, certainly. Um, but it ended up being a nice conversation. And I think that's what we miss sometimes by just being curious and saying, like, oh, like what does that mean? And not being afraid to say you don't know, even if the person you're talking to, maybe they will think you should know. I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe they will have judgment about it. But that's on that person. That's their problem. That's their issue. And I was saying to Tommy how it made me think about growing up, like we didn't celebrate, I'm moving to Juneteenth. Like we didn't celebrate Juneteenth growing up. Like was not talked about. Juneteenth was not taught in school when I was growing up. And so then as an adult, when it became a holiday. And I was just like, honestly, I was like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it means. So I didn't really celebrate. And as look, and as a black person, I didn't want to ask somebody else black, like, what does it? And certainly I wasn't asking any other person of any other race, what does Juneteenth mean? But what did I do? I Googled it because Google is your friend. I Googled it and I was like, oh, oh. And so it's like sometimes we don't know and we can get afraid to just say, I don't know. And maybe the person I was talking to yesterday about Good Friday felt comfortable enough with me to be able to say that they didn't know what Good Friday meant, which I'm glad. I'm glad that they felt comfortable to be able to say that to me. And so if you have somebody that you feel comfortable with and you feel like you can just be yourself and say you don't know something, it really is okay. I don't know how we're so mixed up as a society. How we could ever make anybody feel bad for like saying they don't know something. How you gonna know unless you ask or or Google? But how you gonna know? And sometimes it's better to ask a person because you get their reflection, you get their insight into it. And so yeah, so if you don't know something, just ask. Find somebody that you trust, that you know won't pass judgment, and just ask. Like, don't be afraid to say you don't know. And let me just say, I will be the first one to say I struggle with that. So I'm like talking about something in my life. But I thought, let me be honest here. I struggle with that because I do think I get concerned about the judgment that a person will pass on me, right? I'm all, the people pleaser thing. I'm concerned about judgment. I'm always concerned about how I will look. We need to let that go. I need to let that go. And stop being so concerned about what other people are going to think about us because we ask something, because we say we don't know something. Ugh, why is that even a thing? So, yeah. Oh, and it's totally making me think about when people say, there's no dumb question. Okay. Okay. Because I'm always quick to say, oh, no, there are dumb questions. Because see, that's the judgment. This is why I don't, this is why I struggle with it. Because I have a tendency to pass judgment. That, whoo, we talk about unscripted and some honesty when I be coming, when I be coming on. When I be. Um, but yeah, I do. I will pass judgment in my head. I'm not proud about that. Um, Lord knows I always try to work on that. But I didn't pass judgment about this person yesterday about asking about Good Friday. I was like, good for you for, I don't know, good for you for asking. Um, so anyway, don't be afraid to say and ask what you don't know. Don't be concerned about whether or not somebody is passing judgment on you because one, they're so not likely to tell you that they're passing judgment. You're so likely not to even know that they're passing judgment. It's not like they're going to be like, although depending on who it is, if it's family, they might be like, girl, how come you don't know that? That sounds like something I would do. Girl, how come you don't know that? But don't be concerned about that. I wouldn't do that. I do that out of love. I do that out of love. All right. That's it. Don't be afraid. Don't worry about judgment. Don't worry about what other people think. If you don't know something, ask. And if you feel like you can't ask, look it up. All right. Till next time. And no, I still ain't heard about the job. I'm totally being ghosted. All right. Happy Good Friday. Happy Easter if I don't come back on. All right. Till next time. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for those that have subscribed. I have 12 subscribers. Thank you. All right. Bye. Till next time.